Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches, episode 182. Tonight we're reviewing 50 Shades Freed.
First things first.
Shout out to our wine sponsor, Wing. Trywing.com/moviebitches. You get $20 off your first month of wine. It had some.
This movie needed some.
This movie, actually, I left this movie. So 50 Shades Freed, the third and final installment of the 50 Shades trilogy.
Who thought that was going to happen? We still don't have the complete Golden Compass series. But there's 3 of these movies.
Yep. So I left this movie and I thought to myself, we saw this wrong. This movie needs to be watched with a group of people.
Yeah.
With multiple bottles of champagne.
Definitely alcohol.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like champagne for some reason is festive. It's like sexier, but whatever. It definitely could use some libations.
Yes. And like running commentary.
That's the thing. We saw it in a theater with other people who were seeing it seriously.
The couple next to me were getting turned on. We were in those lazy boy chairs, and they were on top of each other by the end of the movie.
I don't necessarily blame them.
Because they were bored, so like, why not?
Well, but like it set a certain amount of the mood.
Yes, but I was definitely like, oh.
I guess that's interesting.
I don't see this as a date movie.
I disagree. I was just about to say, that's another thought. I could see, like, oh, honey, I made dinner.
But like, their relationship is so gross.
Oh, yes, it is. But that makes you feel like your relationship is better.
Great. Oh, my God. We're like I mean, they're insane. But like,
we're like, great. Let's go fuck. Pop out those poppers.
No poppers in this movie.
No, a lot of things in this movie, but that's okay.
I did think, are we finally going to get to see his dick?
You still don't go fully nude. There's still no fully nude. Even on set, you didn't go fully nude.
I'm not like, I really am hungry for it. But I just thought, we see her fully naked so often. And we don't even see that much of his butt.
Yeah.
We see his butt. But
why haven't we gotten like a nice shower? I mean, I know we can't see it hard because that's against the rules.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
That's stupid.
Well, it's at least against the rules for being...
R, not X?
Yeah.
Why?
Or NC... I think...
Why can a lady be
because
totally
didn't
nude?
Y Tu Mama Tambien was NC-17.
Yeah.
And that, I think...
Had peen.
But a hard peen?
So there's a distinction between...
Yes. You can have full frontal flaccid, but hard, I think, is X.
Oh, okay. So weird.
It's a lot. But anyway, back to this movie. There is no hard peen, but I would like to see just like shower peen.
Some Gone Girl peen. Oh, did I see it? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it was there. I heard that the actor, who I feel like sucks.
Yeah.
Didn't want to show his penis because he personally thinks it's ugly.
I don't want to force that upon anyone.
I don't want to force it upon any person.
Then get a stunt double, first of all.
Then get a stunt double. But also just like, I don't know, they are the wrong people to star in this movie.
That's the biggest problem with this franchise. It's such a bummer.
Just bottom line, because this franchise could be real dumb and sexy, and just like, yes, what's this? I don't even, this is such, look at it, there's an airplane, and her outfit. It could be that movie. And it's almost that movie. But they are so miscast.
It's so weird. The trilogy as a whole has the ability to be like the Secretary meets Shame meets James Bond, and yet none of the... Exactly.
No, it really came down to the casting.
I mean, Michael Fassbender really could have probably pulled this off.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he's too old, but maybe Garrett Hedlund?
Maybe, or...
I mean, it was supposed to be, what's his butt? Charlie Hunnam.
Right, that's right. He would have been hot AF.
Right? Or even that hot boy from Adore.
Sure.
The blonde one?
Yes.
With the
Mother
mouth?
Lovers?
With the mother lovers? I was just trying to think of like other movies where I'm like, that was sexy. Why isn't this?
Well, and the biggest...
that's my thing. I keep
agree.
going, why isn't this sexy?
It's almost like it's not nearly as crazy as Showgirls, but like
unsexy as Showgirls.
No.
Where you're just like, I don't... That's not what, no. But it always feels like, okay, let's have sex.
Right.
Every time, well, it's been 10 minutes, so, all right.
There's no chemistry between them.
There's no chemistry between them, which doesn't help.
No, which is why in the second one, we were, like, more turned on by her and the other guy.
Which was, like, weird, but we were like, I mean, he seems to be more into it.
Yeah.
And she seems to be like,
no. But maybe yes. It was weird.
It was weird.
It was weird. But at least it made me feel something. This is going to be a bad term, but whatever. They've kind of like castrated him more and more throughout the movies.
Yeah, like he'd be like, oh, well, you can't be a dom anymore, basically.
Or ever. I'm not sure if he ever was. Yeah.
But
she is a power bottom.
If she's going to dom him...
Why isn't she, like, pegging him every now and then?
Why isn't she pegging him? Why isn't he ever tied up? Why isn't she ever doing things to him? I just needed it to be more balanced.
And I wouldn't have... I mean, I get both things, right? If their relationship is not that, fine. If it's that he is the dom and
they never seem on the same page.
Agreed.
They get married within the first 30 seconds of the movie. It's montaged through. It's like, oh, and they're blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, that seemed... Okay. I think the fans probably wanted to see the wedding. No,
sure.
Great. Okay, it's over. Credits. And anyway, and then they're like, she's like, oh, I think I want to have a kid. And he's like, oh, I don't want children.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is definitely a conversation you need to have before you get married. What?
There's no, like, open communication.
They have a terrible relationship.
Which is also a really bad thing if you're going to have, like, a next level sex life with each other. Like, you need to be able to communicate. Otherwise, this is just bad on all levels.
That's what I'm saying. So, it just makes me want to watch Secretary.
Absolutely.
And honestly, Phantom Thread, I keep bringing it up, but, like, the reason Phantom Thread worked was because Vicky Creeps was so fucking good and so good at that nuance of, like, oh, you think you're fucking with me? Oh, no, you're not fucking with me. I'm fucking with you. And there's a balance, and there's a, like, oh, I'm going to be in the control now, and now I'm going to be in control. Oh, no. And there's a back and forth. This is all, like...
garbage. The acting in this is terrible.
You know,
they are bad actors.
It's true.
And that's just on
a base level, I'm like, oh, I don't get a lot from either of you.
No.
If they had better actors, I feel like I'd be such a champion of these movies.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, it's like an American-produced, sexy, like, over-the-top.
And somehow is feminist in the end, but, like...
No, but yes.
Semi-feminist.
But no.
But, like, I mean, at least she, in the end, as a woman, has control over basically everything.
But, like, that's not their relationship, and that's why it's weird.
I agree.
She can have control, not in the bedroom.
Right.
And then be like, oh, but I like to be controlled in the bedroom.
But then she also has control in the bedroom where she's just like, oh, safe word, red, stop. And he's like, oh, okay, we weren't really doing, oh, okay. It was weird.
She never seems into it.
No! And that's the problem, too.
And then she always seems to be like, I guess we can have this, like, kind of out there sex life because, you know, you have, like, a plane and a car and a sexy house and, like, lots of money. And like, you're hot because you have a lot of money.
She's using him, and in exchange, she'll give him sort of, kind of, ish, kinky sex. It's like, okay. You guys fucked on, like, the dining room table in the shared house that you were staying at with your friends.
With the ice cream.
Oh, God, that was so gross. That was so gross. You know how sticky that was? You don't need that cream in your vajayjay. That's going to be bad news bears. I don't even have one, and I know.
Well, the way it was... Excuse me. The way it was shot looked like it was vaginal discharge. Okay? It just looked gross. It didn't look like, oh, yeah, sexy vanilla ice cream. It looked like...
Ooh.
What's going on down there?
I wouldn't mind a film where their relationship wasn't great, but the sex was just so goddamn good.
Right.
That she was dickmatized. She was coming back for it, right? It was just like, oh, but like the chemistry between us when we're together is just, we can't stop
palpable.
not being, we can't not be together, but we can't figure out how to be together.
Emotionally, we're screwed up, but like, oh boy. And then that's maybe the journey they go on.
Yeah, when I'm in that red room is when I'm at home. But every other time, I can't figure it out, and he tries to control my life and like ruin my job or whatever. You're like, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is.
Yeah.
And even if it was that, I don't think that either of them as actors could carry it out.
This movie felt like all the scenes that they left in were all the scenes they should have cut. Like, all the time that they spent on things
Oh my God.
It was the inverse, right? It was like, oh, you know what we need? Lots of boring dialogue scenes where they talk about nothing and it goes on forever. But like the wedding, oh no, it's fine. It's montage. You know? It's things like that where you be like,
my God. I did love the scene with her and the architect.
Please stop speaking to my husband as if I weren't here.
Anna.
You may call me Mrs. Gray.
Oh, that was great. That was what I mean. Like, she can be the boss bitch outside of the red room, you know, and be like, don't fuck with me because I'm Mrs. Gray. And I will fuck up your life, and he is my husband, you know? Yes.
And I love the idea that that's what they discover, where it's like, we can find this, like, balance where it's like, yes, in public life, in interacting with other people, you have free reign to be as bad bitch like as you want, right? You are the boss. But then once we get in that red room, all bets are off.
Right?
And that's what she likes. And that's what she likes.
And she's into it.
Yes.
And they're both consenting adults that are into it.
Yes.
Not like that. Oh my God, there's this really weird movie called Consenting Adults.
Oh no.
Where it's like Kevin Kline, so I watched it. And other people as two husbands, and they're both married, and they decide they're gonna just
wife swap,
but like not tell the wives. And then it's weird, and then it's like, oh, I was so asleep, I didn't realize I was fucking my next door neighbor, and they're like, it's really weird, guys.
So they weren't consenting adults.
Yeah.
Oh God, weird.
And I was bummed out because I was like, Kevin Kline, oh no. I mean, these movies are ridiculous, and I mean, like, I just have to keep reminding myself, like, it's based on Twilight fan fiction. Like, it's based on Twilight fan fiction. Like, it started as fan fiction. Like, she wrote it on her BlackBerry. Like, this is stupid. Like, oh, so this is just stupid? Great. But then they're talking about, she's like, oh, when they're going to get married, she's like, oh, well, I'm going to change my name. Maybe we should hyphenate.
And then they're going to have their child that he doesn't want be named Steel Gray. Love it. I mean, I hate it. It's stupid, but...
The worst.
Anastasia.
Every time they're like, her name is Anastasia, I'm like, no. They keep calling her Anna, but her assistant is Hannah, but everyone mumbles, so there's a lot of Anna.
Yeah.
Anna?
Anna?
Anna.
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 Oh, we haven't talked about her hot bodyguard.
Who, oh my God, so yes, oh my God. There's a lot to talk about. So Hannah, her assistant.
Yes, great.
Is who I want the movie to be about.
Sure.
She's like, I'm fabulous and I'm sassy and like, I'm great.
Yep.
And you're like, yeah, I love it. Oh, you have like 3 seconds of screen time and I absolutely am like more interested in you than the main characters? This seems weird.
Also, every person of color in this movie is just in some sort of servitude role and it's really uncomfortable.
Yep. So the whole thing is that Jack Hyde, I mean, it's just the stupidest. He might as well be named Bill Bad Guy. You know, it's just like... It's so dumb. Anyway, Jack Hyde, who tried to rape her in the last movie, has been stalking them /
hacking into Gray Enterprises.
Is after them, right? And so she has to have a bodyguard to protect her.
Now, wouldn't it have been fun if she fucked the bodyguard?
Yes! Or if they'd had a 3-way or something. Yes!
Like, oh, and now, like... Per your consent, you're gonna get tag teamed by me and the hot bodyguard. Yes!
Because he was hot.
He was!
So the whole time I was like, who's this hot bodyguard? It's totally Noel Khan from Pretty Little Liars, which you don't watch. But I was like, yes! And so Hannah and him have like 3 seconds of like, oh, here you go. No, here you go. He's hot. She's hot.
Also could get together.
I wanted the whole movie to be about them. I was like, oh, so like Hannah and this bodyguard? Yeah, that's the movie I want to watch. Oh, this is weird. Like, they had more chemistry in the 5 seconds of screen time they had together. What's going on?
I don't know.
What's happening?
What was his name? Do we remember?
Hot bodyguard.
Yeah.
No idea.
I would have loved that where it's like, oh, hey, Anastasia.
Anastasia Gray Steele. Steele Gray. No, she'd get...
A lifetime supply of Anastasia Steele Gray. Hey, Anastasia. That's better. Why don't you come show Hot Bodyguard the Red Room? I'll meet you in there in 5 minutes.
Oh, is this Jamie Dornan thing?
Yes,
great.
Yes.
I thought you were still being Hannah.
No, I'm Jamie Dornan.
Hey, Anastasia.
Oh.
I'm your assistant.
Yeah.
Let's meet in the Red Room. I like that none of his...
I'd be down for that, too.
I'd be so here for it. I like that none of his servants, like, talk about the Red Room.
Right?
Like, someone's cleaning that thing.
Thank you. There are sheets that are being changed and cleaned.
Is he doing that in private? No, he's not.
Someone is dusting.
Because he is a child and can't take care of himself.
You said it, and it's true.
So she, in the middle of the movie, is like, oops, I'm pregnant.
Because she forgot her shots?
Because she gets that freaky, no judgment, she
that a
gets
thing?
that freaky birth control where you only have a period like once a year.
Sure. I've heard that it can be particularly helpful for some women who have like horrifically painful periods.
Sure. Things can work for other people. I'm not judging. But she forgot.
I was so busy. What do you do? Oh my god, whatever.
She reads books.
Oh
and then she's like, this book is good.
So go read your book and get a shot.
She clearly had an appointment.
Right?
They like on their honeymoon so long. It doesn't matter. Well, I'm not judging her because that's fucked up. But he does. He's like, you forgot your shot? Blah, 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 blah.
I mean...
And she's like, well, we have a lot of sex, Christian, so that's what happens when you have a lot of sex.
Well, it doesn't if you get the shot like you're supposed to. Like, I feel like he is warranted. They were children.
They are children, and they shouldn't be having children. Children shouldn't have children.
It's true.
So at one point, there's like this stupid, unnecessary car chase, right? Remember? And she's driving, and he's like really turned on. He's like, oh, my lady can drive a car. It's just so weird that he was just like, yeah, she's driving a stick shift. I don't know.
It wasn't even?
It wasn't even a stick shift. That would have been good. Oh, it should have been a stick shift. She could have been like...
It should have been like an old Ferrari, like an old Aston Martin, like and really make it Bondy.
Like a old, Thomas Crown affair, like,
yeah,
oh, sexy, what's happening here?
Exactly.
You're in control of your life. And she could have been really controlling that stick, and then it would have been like, oh, yeah.
She knows how to ride stick. But no, instead, it is an Audi commercial.
She's constantly surprised at how rich he is. And I'm like, have you not talked? You're married.
Right?
She's like, oh my god, you have this fancy car. Oh my god, you have a yacht. Oh my god, you have a plane. Oh my god, you're rich.
You own this?
We own this.
So she's like driving the car and he gets all turned on by it, and then they get away from the person chasing them, and then they fuck in the car.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, like they're getting turned on by this adrenaline of
yes.
it. I thought, oh, is this a new level to their relationship? Is he paying people to sort of chase me?
I love that idea.
In an adrenaline junkie situation, and then it turns them both on, and then they have better sex. I thought, well, that could be interesting.
That could be fun.
You
but
know,
no, that wasn't it.
That wasn't what was happening. Okay, so the director, James Foley, directed the last one and this one.
Okay.
Not the first one. And I was looking him up. He did this movie I've talked about before, Reckless, with Aidan Quinn and Daryl Hannah, where they're like in high school and they're crazy in love and they're like fucking and they're like, we're mad for fucking each other, and they're just like, ah! And then he also did Fear, which is another sort of like, oh, sexy. Oh no, you know, and it's like he only understands like high school obsessed love somehow. Like that's what he's good at portraying. Because like those movies, you're like, yeah. Oh no, wait, what? Oh, yeah, I don't know. Oh, and this movie, you're like,
But they're like married. It's like weird. They're like married and talking about kids.
It's not fully his fault. It's like the source material, but like they came off very high school. I thought the best scene in the movie was she is pregnant. He is like, ah, and goes to see
his mentor,
Kim Basinger, but her scenes got cut, and it's the next morning, and she gets in the shower, and she's getting dressed in front of him, and it was like right out of that Altman movie where Julianne Moore is like half naked, like in front of her husband, because that's what you do because you're used to being naked in front of each other, and she's putting on her clothes one by one. Here's the bra, and here's this, and they're having an argument. I'm like, well, this is all great. Like that was the best scene in the movie. It had nothing to do with most of what was happening in the movie. It was the most real scene.
I agree.
I want like David Cronenberg to make this movie and have it be like fucked up. Like, yeah. Starring 1988 James Spader. Well, and I feel like 15 solid minutes of this movie are her taking off her high heels, or her waking up from a sexy morning where I'm naked in my sheets and I'm. Oh, if I have to see one more thing of them waking up. There's so many scenes of just like, why is this in the movie? So we didn't even talk about the kidnapping.
Who cares? Like, it was such a stupid non-plot.
Well, the movie didn't care. The movie was like, anyway, she got kidnapped. So his Christian's sister gets kidnapped. Yep. We don't see her get kidnapped. Nope. We don't see anything. Mm-mm. Like, it literally felt like the scenes that mattered were cut. Yeah. And anything that would be exciting or tension-filled or whatever were cut.
Because it's a horribly written script.
So his sister gets kidnapped. And Jack Hyde is like, you have to give me a check for cash $5 million in the next hour. And she's like, oh, I'll write a check.
Right.
To cash.
At the bank.
For $5 million. I mean, it was just so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, banks are trained to be like, is someone in your family kidnapped? This seems like you're asking to cash a check within an hour for $5 million. So I feel like this is a red flag, and we're going to go ahead and say no.
Here are those marked bills. The script is terrible. Nothing is thought through. Nothing makes sense. And then he's just like, oh, I'm going to kidnap her and try and take your money because I deserve it because I should have been adopted, but you were adopted from the same adoption agency and you stole my life. And I'm like, this is all nonsense.
So she is going to save the day and save the sister from getting kidnapped.
Right.
And then for some reason, she's in a coma after getting kicked in the stomach.
Yeah, that was weird.
She shoots him, and he kicks her in the stomach. And, oh, no, I'm pregnant. Don't kick me in the stomach. Yeah. Of course, that's not great. But then she's in a coma.
In a coma.
But she's awake. Like, oh, Christian, you saved me. And then she's in a coma. Like, it's like happened later. Like, oh, I've got the vapors, and I fainted, and now I'm in a coma. I don't know. I was like, what? And no one cares that Mia's, like, been kidnapped and possibly molested. Like, all of the above. Like, we don't know what happened to her.
We're based on our knowledge of Jack Hyde. She's probably been raped.
Right? Oh, but Anastasia, she's in a coma. It really matters.
Which is so weird.
It's
and then she wakes up, so then it's like, okay, she's fine.
Oh, it's great. Oh, and the baby's fine, right?
The baby was fine. And I was like, that seems like dumb. Like,
suspect.
What an obvious thing. Like, he took the baby away that you weren't sure you wanted, but now you do think you want one, but maybe not just yet. Let's fuck a little more. Around the world, right? Doesn't that seem like...
Fucking around the world. Yeah.
It's like, oh, this tragedy happened. We lost the baby. But, like, we know we want one.
We're stronger now together.
Exactly. In 2 years or 5, we'll try it for a baby. Keep getting those shots, girl.
But instead, no, she keeps the baby, and they have a Notting Hill, we're on the grass, I'm pregnant moment.
Oh, yeah.
And she's reading the same goddamn book she was reading on their honeymoon, by the way.
She's been busy, Avaryl.
She can't finish that book in 5 years.
Yeah, because the child's there.
The child's like a 5-year-old. Straight up, I was confused. She's still reading that book. Weird choice.
Weird.
Was
it just like, oh, she should be reading it? Oh, it's the same book. Was the book like the author's book?
Oh my god. I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember the cover, and I was like, well, that's the exact same cover she had on the beach in the Riviera or wherever they were.
Yeah.
When she was like, I'm going to be topless. And he was like, no.
No, don't.
What is his job? What does he do?
Oh, who knows?
Real estate?
I'm assuming
Tech. Money.
He's in his family business, right? Like, it's his parents that have the money. No, it's him?
That's how he started the business.
Oh.
But he's, made something of himself.
Oh.
And has...
But he never works.
He's never working. He's constantly taking her on trips. He's going places to have
Beyond that, like, all of his work is to...
control her.
Yeah.
His job is her life. It's weird.
It's really weird.
And then at the end when he's like, oh, you're really topping from the bottom. That was the end.
Oh, yeah.
Weird, because they have this whole montage of, like, the 3 movies, and, in the elevator, and...
and they literally show stuff from this movie, and
doing the pommel horse in the second. Yes. And I was like, what's this? This is silly. And then things from this movie.
Because they ran out of footage? It's confusing.
We gotta wrap it.
Remember when this happened 30 minutes ago? Yeah! I just saw it.
It was like a little bow for the fans.
Oh my god.
But their life is still kinky. But I bet they got a lock on that red room door.
Sure.
For the kid.
For the kid. You don't want them to figure out what that giant plug was for. Because I still don't know.
There was like plug? It was like brass knuckles, but there was like a beat. Like a vegetable beat.
Yeah.
Like on the end of it.
Yeah.
And then he fucked her with it.
It was confusing.
I think.
I'm not sure.
I think that's what happened.
Not sure.
I think she should have fucked him with it.
Yeah.
and then been like, I'm letting.
I would have been down for that.
Something. She needed to dominate him slightly.
Well, and that's right. So the last line, he's like, "You're topping from the bottom," and it's like, no, dude, she's been the power bottom this entire time. She is controlling you.
If that's the point, I wish I had left the movie being like, "Yeah, you top him, you
well,
bottom."
right, exactly.
But I wasn't.
That's when she should have just been like, "You're right."
Lock
handcuffs him and like,
right?
Whatcha! Cut to black.
Whoopah!
Exactly.
That would have been good.
Right? It's my turn, bitch. Yes.
Directed by James Foley.
Exactly. I was thinking about like the end montage, right? And they have it over that.
Well, the soundtrack is awful.
Oh, the soundtrack's a mess. But I do love that song. I forget who sings "Love Me Like You Do." Ellie Goulding.
Maybe.
Ellie Goulding. I call it the "Fuck Me Like You Do" song because that's what it's like. Fuck me like you do.
That's the explicit version of it.
Yeah, I've like wanted to do like a Willem-esque like slutty version of that, and also how big is your cock instead of how deep is your love.
Deep is your
How
love.
big is your cock?
Whoa.
Is it like the ocean? What religion are you? It'd be great. I need to have a slutty drag queen alter ego where I do these videos, but I haven't done it yet, so.
Bummed, because I'm here for this kind of movie to make money in America and get funded.
Yep.
But this isn't what I want.
I agree. But you could still get drunk and shout at it.
I still think the second one was more silly.
Maybe, yeah. I think that's probably true.
The second one I was more just like, and this one I was like, just talking.
I'm kind of like that with all of them, to be
true.
honest, but whatever.
Anyway.
So, cheers.
Cheers.